The 2025 Liberal Party of Canada is attempting to install the most heavily surveilled citizenry this country has ever seen. Between Bill C-2, Bill C-8, and Bill C-9, unlimited government powers are going to be given to the Liberal Party of Canada and their ability to surveil the Canadian people, unilaterally shut down Canadians' internet service if the government doesn't deem what you're saying to be appropriate, doesn't like what you're saying without any involvement from the Attorney General. They can just simply cut your internet service, contact Rogers Isabel and cut you. Bill C-2 would give the government of Canada the ability to open any Canadian's mail without any notification to the recipient if it is deemed by the Canadian government to be in the national security interest. I don't know if 3 Canadians who trust this government to be able to unilaterally determine what mail can be intercepted in the so-called national security interest. I don't think there's any doubt that it'll be politicized, and the fact that it can be done in complete darkness gives a great indication of how it's going to be used to surveil political opposition rather than the bad guys, which this government has already shown a tendency to do. Bill C-8, of course, gives the government more ability than they've ever had to police online spaces, with the same government that has overseen removal of mandatory 1-year prison sentence for having CP on your computer, the most vile crime you could have. So at the same time as a liberal Supreme Court, the 5 Supreme Court justices that voted in favor of removing the mandatory 1-year sentence were all Trudeau appointees. The 4 who voted against were Harper's. The same ones are now saying that they want to pass a law that says that Canadians can be imprisoned for life for so-called hate speech. And we all know in Canada what hate speech means. Hate speech means any speech that the Liberal Party of Canada hates. We know that this is going to be abused. This is a more extreme bill than what they passed in the UK. In the UK, the so-called Online Safety Act. The so-called Online Safety Act is now seeing approximately 12,000 British citizens being arrested a year for social media posts. And this Bill C-8 has a wider definition of hate speech. And we know definitively they will target political opposition. And we're already seeing a chilling effect across the UK. And just if you talk about the transformation in any of these Western countries, they want to criminalize it. At the end of the day, they want to criminalize Canadians pointing out what's happening in their society. This is a government with the technology, with the AI coming online like it never has before. The ability for a government to become a surveillance state has never been what it is today. And this Liberal Party of Canada is fundamentally authoritarian. They've already stomped all over our Charter of Rights and Freedoms. During the Freedom Convoy, it was already determined that Trudeau acted illegally in utilizing the Emergencies Act, something that they've never accepted. They believe that they have the right to tell Canadian citizens what they are and are not allowed to say. And we know based on Carney, we know exactly the type of speech that is going to be targeted as hate speech and the type of speech that is not. If you voice certain political rhetoric, you get a police escort. If you voice something against the left, you get much different treatment. And it's common. You always see this with communists. So these guys are extremely far left. I'd argue that Canada is the furthest left government in Canada, and they always go after political dissidents. Reporter in Canada, Keenan Bext, being pursued because he reported on Liberal wrongdoing, and we're seeing the same thing in Canada. So we have to oppose Bill C-2. Bill C8, Bill C9, the most extreme surveillance bills we've ever seen. Spread the word. Reach out to your MPs. We know it does make a difference. Please like, share, subscribe, join, become a member, donate, grab some gear. Really appreciate everybody's support.